This podcast is brought to you by Golden Ticket Cinemas. $5 movies all day on Tuesday, reclining seating, and the Spot Toys. If you can't find it, they have it. And the Mad Tea Party Productions. Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Bridges, Doug Wall, and Garrick Lane, this is Tales from the Video Store. Welcome to number 51. And counting.
Area 51.
It's been another 3 weeks since our last meet.
Yeah, feels like it.
It does. It feels like it. When I don't do this every week, like I'm like empty inside.
Yeah,
I miss it.
I know. It's like fuck.
I'm like, I lay in bed and I'm like, I wonder what Lee's doing. I so miss his face. And
Garrick.
Where is Garrick?
The only reason you missed Lee is because Lee was at Universal Studios while you were sitting at home miserable, pressing on your eyes. Like
this
me.
is a fact. This is a fact.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how was the trip?
Dude, it was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it really was. I'm not a big vacation guy. I couldn't tell you the last time I went on one. It was several presidents ago. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
I try to avoid leaving my house if at all possible. But went to Universal Studios with the Halloween Horror Nights Sunday night, and it was great. It really was. We ate at the Universal Monsters Cafe, which has props from like the 30s and stuff in it, and like little set, like kind of the set, like there's like a Frankenstein section where it has these all the electron, like the Jacob's ladder, the electricity flying up it, and there's like a Creature from the Black Lagoon section and stuff, and the food was actually good.
Nice.
Of all the restaurants I saw, it was the best. Like they had ribs and steak, and you could tell that's when they put a lot of money in. Some of them were just like, it's like they have a Mel's Diner from American Graffiti, which is a burgers fan, but the houses, only did 3 houses, because some of the waits were just like, the Stranger Things was always an hour. And I'm not fucking standing up for an hour.
An hour just to get in it?
And you're in it's 5 minutes. The houses, you're in and out. But did the Killer Clowns from Outer Space house. That was very good. They kind of it's kind of like a flip book of the movie. The Ghostbusters house, you can tell they spent millions of dollars on. Like there's a big Stay Puft Marshmallow Head, and they're firing, proton packs at it, and you see Gozer, and there's the terror dogs come out of the walls. Yeah. In the Sigourney Weaver's house, when the hands start coming out of the walls and stuff, you walk through that.
Nice.
Really well done. But the fucking Universal Monsters house was the one.
That was the shit.
It was the one. And the best scare of it is that there's a hallway at the end when you're done, because they all have like sort of an exit hallway. And all the others you walk through, you just walk out. And at the end of the Universal Studios, right when you put your hand on the door, this 7-foot fucking Frankenstein comes out and scares the shit out of people. And it's like, and it was obviously it was like a 6-foot something dude with a big fake head on his shoulders, because it was gigantic. But did that? Bought a bunch of merch, cups and stuff. But I loved it.
Nice.
I really did. And other than that, just was able to go to Augusta, Georgia on the way down there, and went to the Psychotronic record store, which is owned by a guy who used to publish a movie magazine back in the 70s, and just bought a bunch of cool stuff there. Bought the Enter the Dragon soundtrack on vinyl.
Nice.
Yeah, really. He's kind of transitioned from movies to records, but he still has. I bought a bunch of posters and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and but other than that, just kind of went to the beach and stuff, and it was a great trip. But yeah.
Nice.
What was the best part?
The best part, Universal Studios. It was, yeah.
What do they have over there? They're not doing they still doing the Back to the Future?
No, the Back to the Future ride is gone. I believe
that was
Simpsons
how long ago?
The Simpsons ride is there now. There's a whole Simpsons land. And
wow.
there's a Quickie Mart. There's a fucking Chief Wiggum police car. That was great. We just walked through that. Didn't go on the Simpsons ride. But they have a few rides open at night, and most of in between the houses there are things called scare zones. Like there's a Rob Zombie one. There was a Zombie Land one, and you can it's basically like you have to walk through it without getting freaked out. Like in a zombie one, like zombies will just openly chase you. But I guess, but you can walk around them. Like there's always like a, if you see that coming, you can be like, no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not into it, sir.
Yeah, like, and I did see a lot of children, which I thought was weird. You know, like people just bring like, dude, don't bring your fucking kids. That's what Universal Studios is there for the day. They have a thing called Island of Adventure, which is separate, which is just superhero stuff.
Yeah.
They literally have that for you, as opposed to you bringing little Johnny to fucking the House of 1,000 Corpses.
Yeah.
You know, a haunted house and have him get freaked out.
Yeah, for life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Johnny meets Dr. Satan, and he's not good again. Never good. Yeah. Cut to 20 years later, he's on top of a tower with a rifle.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Wonder what happened, huh?
But it was a great trip. It really was. Me and my girlfriend Bonnie went.
Did you have a chance to watch anything?
Watched a few things. Noticed on Prime, Epic's channel put the first 2 episodes of The King of Harlem, the new crime show where Forrest Whitaker plays Bumpy Johnson, who we talked about a few months ago.
Oh, really? That's on Prime?
The first 2 episodes are on there. The third episode is you have to subscribe. But dude, he's great. The guy who plays Malcolm X is amazing. You know, great cast. You kind of get how Harlem is like this little world. Like, you know, you have the Baptists versus in the Nation of Islam Muslims, and how they sort of, you know, this preacher who's based on a real guy. He was this, you know, like millions of people listen to him on the radio every week. He was like he was like sort of the northern Martin Luther King, but you kind of see how he's not as good a guy. You know, he has political aspirations.
Right.
And like, but Forrest Whitaker's great as Bumpy Johnson. It literally starts with him walking out of his prison cell in Alcatraz in like 1962 when he gets out of prison. And
I was going to ask what was the time period.
That's the first shot. You see a cell open, he steps out of it, and then it cuts to him on the boat. Then he gets out of a car and he's in New York. And you kind of feel bad for him because the minute he gets out, people are asking him for money. Yeah. They're like, "Man, I got this thing. I got some guns I can sell." He goes up to talk to his kid's teacher. They go, "You know, we could sure use a new roof for the gym." He's just like, he's kind of like, Forrest Whitaker's like, "Fuck, I literally just got out of prison.
Yeah,
give me a minute." And but yeah, the first 2 episodes were great. I really enjoyed it.
So are you going to subscribe to see the rest, or you going to what?
No, I'll just wait.
Yeah.
See, I can't do that. So I'm not going to watch those 2 because I'll watch those 2 and then I want to see the rest.
Get sucked in,
right?
Yeah. No.
I'll wait till I can see them all.
Well, see, but sometimes my cheapness outweighs my
desire to see something.
I'm like, send it $5 or something else. But other than that, one of my favorite actors passed away a few days ago, Robert Forster, and I rewatched Jackie Brown, the movie that sort of restarted his career, which he was nominated for an Oscar for, and he's great in that. He's like the heart of the movie.
Yes.
And then I rewatched yesterday, fucking Alligator from 1980.
Nice.
Which was the first movie that I saw him in as a kid. Dude, Alligator, got that John Sayles script. As far as like 1980s, as far as a movie about a giant alligator coming out of the sewers, it's really good.
Yeah.
You know, way better than a movie about a giant sewer gator should be. You know, and but yeah,
I remember that movie. I love that movie.
They played it on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Like it was like on heavy rotation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was super awesome. Like that guy. He was like the opposite of Steve McQueen. He was like super cool, but he was just very quiet.
Yeah.
You know, he like it calm, cool, I guess you'd call it. Like the only movie star I can think of created like James Garner. Mm-hmm. He's like very sort of understated cool. Unlike, you know, somebody like DiCaprio or McQueen who screams a lot, you know. Very, you know, showy actor. He was just kind of like, you know, and Jackie Brown, he just kind of sits there.
He's just smooth.
Yeah, he's just fucking, exactly, that's the word. He's just fucking smooth.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
R.I.P. to that great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was reading an interview with Tarantino. He said that was one of the best decisions he ever made. Because like the studio really wanted it to be Paul Newman. They were like fucking, because that was on his list, was like Paul Newman. They were like, he was like, no, it's got to be this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he'd almost cast him as Lawrence Tierney's character in Reservoir Dogs, as the crime boss. Yeah.
That would have worked.
But he's like, I got to work with that guy because he was a big fan of him, you know. And yeah, that dude was awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I watched.
Okay.
Did you watch some stuff?
I did. I watched a couple of things.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the first movie I watched, I had seen a trailer for it a couple years ago and was intrigued by it. Called Goodnight Mommy from 2014.
Right.
Written and directed by Veronica Franz and Severin Fiala.
Sure.
Co-wrote and directed it. Sure. And basically, the premise of the movie: there's these 9-year-old twin boys, and they're out in the country at this badass house. It's like a vacation home, and their mother goes to have I think it's like a nose job, some kind of facial procedure, and comes back and her head is completely covered in bandages. And one of the boys begins to kind of believe that maybe she's not really their mom anymore, because she's acting different and looks a little bit different, and she's up in her room all the time recovering. And it's a slower kind of a movie. It took about 40 minutes really for stuff to actually start to happen, but once it does, it was extremely interesting. I really, really enjoyed it. It's got a lot of twists in it that I did not see coming, which normally I try and look out for things like this, but the way that they did it was really well done. It's got a very what the fuck ending.
Nice.
But cool movie. More creepy than I would say, or kind of like a psychological thriller than a horror movie, but it's got some scary parts.
I remember when it came out, the trailer was awesome.
Yeah.
But then I heard a couple people said it's not really the movie the trailer leads you to believe it is. Or at least maybe in the first part.
Yeah.
And I just never got around to watching it. But I always wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
The Boys.
German movie?
Austrian.
Austrian, yeah.
It takes place in Vienna.
Yeah.
Creepy.
All right.
And if you like, try to think of something to kind of compare it to. It's almost like almost like a Psycho.
Right.
It's more like, it's not like horror. It's just more thinking about it.
Right.
And the look and the feel of the movie it kind of creeps you out.
Right.
Cool movie.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend it to you guys. I think you both might like it. The other movie I watched was Midsummer from earlier this year by Lee's favorite director.
Yep.
Ari Aster.
Director of the greatest movie of all time.
Hereditary. Which I know how much you love.
I do. I think it's...
And
I saw that case. I have not heard anything about it.
about Midsummer?
Yep.
It is,
Is it a piece of shit?
I can't call it a piece of shit because of the way that it looks.
Right.
It looks fucking amazing.
Right.
The sets, the design of this place that they go in Sweden is gorgeous. And basically what it is this group of friends, they're around college age,
right,
early 20s, decide that they're going to go with one of their buddies back to his home in Sweden, to this small commune that he's from, to witness this midsummer festival that they've been doing for hundreds of years. And this girl, one of the guys, his girlfriend, who he fucking hates, and has very good reason to, because she's fucking terrible. She's always calling him all the time and just like whining, and his buddies are like, "Why the fuck are you still with this bitch? I know you hate her." And he's like, "I don't fucking know." And her sister kills herself and kills her fucking parents, so he feels obligated to invite her, and he's like, "Don't worry, she's not gonna go." But of course she fucking goes.
Right.
And immediately when they get there, the guys are giving them fucking mushroom tea, and everybody's tripping balls.
Yeah.
And they do a really funky effect where everything looks kind of like it's underwater.
Yeah.
When they're walking around this place, it looks great.
Right.
I mean, it really does. But once the glow of all that kind of appeal goes
right.
away, and you kind of get to see who these characters are. All the American characters are fucking terrible.
Right.
They're just pieces of shit. I hated every fucking person in the movie.
Yeah.
When bad things happened to them, I was like, fucking finally.
Now, is that how they were written, or is that just because they weren't good?
No, it's how they're written. They're all fucking pieces of shit.
Okay.
Yeah. But, they were brought there for a reason.
Right.
Each of them were brought there for
Kill the Americans!
It's called the 9-day feast. They do it every 90 years to appease their whatevers.
Right.
It's just, if you thought Hereditary was the most pretentious movie you'd ever seen, you would fucking hate this movie.
Well, about a year ago, I went on this 10-minute diatribe about how much I hated the movie Hereditary, and I do hate it, but I don't think it's a bad movie. Like, I understand why people like it. Right. Like, I understand the value of it and why somebody, like Scorsese, thinks it's one of the greatest movies in the last 20 years. Yeah. He loved Hereditary. I hate it on a philosophical level. Mm-hmm. Like, I hate the ideas behind the filmmaking, if that makes any sense. Like, and it's like, and when I saw the term for summer, I was like, that's just, I don't really care about originality in movies, because I think it's more about the execution than the original of the idea. Right. Like, it just looks like hipster Wicker Man, you know.
Which,
right?
I mean, it kind of is.
And I can tell, like, I could tell what was going to happen in the movie. Like, I knew that there was a bunch of weird shit, a bunch of folk horror, and then somebody was going to get sacrificed. And I'm not seeing the movie.
Yeah,
but there's you know, if you see enough horror movies, you can tell how it's going to go. Right. And I'm not and his style doesn't entice me enough to ever want to watch it.
It is not anything. If you didn't know that they were done by the same director, right? I don't think you would be able to pick it out just by watching this movie and watching Hereditary. That they're quite different.
There's a sacrifice in both, though.
Well,
it's the same thing.
Well,
it's the same movie.
One is about, you know, like this. I guess they're almost like Satan worshiping witches. Yeah. This is more of like a, you know, hundreds of years old tradition.
Like pagan.
This is how they've done things forever, and even though it's in modern times, they don't really give a shit. I'll give you an example of one thing that happens in the movie. So, you enter the winter of your life when you're like 54 years old until you're 72, and they're like, well, what happens when you're 72? So there's a couple of old people. They put them in these chairs. They have, you know, they're cheering them on. They take them to this big field, and they take them up on top. Everybody's in this field, and they take them up to the top of this mountain that has a rock hanging off of it. And they kill themselves. They jump off voluntarily because, you know, and the Americans are there like, what the fuck? Like, we've got to get out of here. And they're like, no. Like, you got to understand, like, this is how we've always done. Everybody, like, they're happy to do it. Nobody's forcing them to do it. It's part of our tradition. Yeah. You know, they lived great lives, and they're 72. That's it. Yeah. You know, but it's so much of that. Right. That it's like almost 2.5 hours long. Right.
Oh, and there's a director's cut that's over 3.
There's no way I can make it. Yeah. I mean, I barely made it to the end of this. Because it gets to a point about halfway in where you know exactly where it's going. Right. You know exactly what you're going to get. It's just how are they going to deliver.
Exactly. I'm talking about the execution. Exactly.
And the execution is fine for a lot of it. Some of it is kind of like, okay. Yeah. Not the worst movie I've ever seen, but...
No. And I wouldn't say Hereditary is the worst movie I've ever seen. I know. By a long shot. Yeah. It's more just how it's done.
It's how it's done. I hate it. And this, too, a lot of how it's done. Do you remember, I don't know if you guys ever watched it, Green Inferno, Eli Roth, The Green Inferno, where it's...
His cannibal movie. Right. No, I never saw it.
Okay. Well, it's similar to this in that the American characters that are in it are just fucking terrible. You just hate them so much. I wanted to see them get eaten. Right. You know, and in this, it's like I wanted them to die horribly. Right. Yeah. You know? But to what end? They do a cool thing where early on in the movie, they show you this big tapestry. Right. And by the time the movie ends, you see that they've basically done everything in the tapestry.
Right. Yeah.
And that's it.
Right. I got you.
You know?
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
I understand.
I won't say to watch it or not to watch it really, because I think certain people would really love this movie. But I just you know,
you just ruined it. So at the end, it's like The Shining. It's like they zoom in on a tapestry and you see.
No, that's not what I said.
It's more like these things happen every 90 years.
Every 90 years.
Yeah.
It's just. You know. Watch it for yourself.
Yeah, you might like it.
You might love it.
Yeah.
Watch Hagazusa, motherfucker.
What is that?
The fucking German witch movie that I recommended that you watch like a month ago, and you
yeah.
never got around to it.
I
I think you'll love that because of the way it looks.
Azusa. I can't even spell that.
H-A-G...
Azusa.
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 Another one of my problems is I don't care. This is going to sound weird. For the most part, I don't care about culture. Because if it doesn't work, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like I heard this guy on TV once talking about, they were talking about all the sharks, how like the oceans get, one of the things that's fucked up like the Pacific Ocean is the amount of sharks that are killed for shark fin soup.
Yeah.
And how like there are fish that they used to get eaten, there are way too many of them. And there was a guy saying, yes, but in certain cultures they make shark fin soup for medicine. And the other guy was like, that doesn't work. It's not real medicine.
Yeah.
Just because you can look at a certain part of your culture and go, well, that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Let's stop doing that.
Yeah.
You know. Just like my mom with St. Patrick's Day. She would make corned beef and cabbage every year, and I would tell her, it's fucking garbage food. You just boiled shit for 17 hours, and it's goo. And nobody wants to eat it.
But the cabbage is for money. And this is for this. No.
I thought that was New Year's.
Yeah, well, it is.
Yeah, that thing, too. Like the whole, eat, what is it? Fucking on New Year, eat, like...
For good luck.
Black-eyed peas.
Black Eyed Peas, and everybody ever told me to do that is fucking broke. And I'm like, well, clearly you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, Mom, we've done this for 10 years straight, and we're fucking shit poor. What the fuck? It's not working.
You drive a 97 Fiesta.
Let's eat beanie weenies instead. For God's sake.
Anyway, that's just me. Like I don't.
Yeah.
If I can look at it, and go, it's fucking ridiculous.
But if
I'm not interested in
you have some kind of an affinity towards like cult,
Yeah.
if you are intrigued by cults, which I am to
As
a
a-
certain
yeah.
extent, then you might really love this movie and just be like, oh man, it's so real, it's so. But to me, it's just fucking garbage.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Like nothing like this could ever happen or will ever happen.
Yeah.
And if it did, it was a fucking couple hundred years ago.
Yeah.
It's not happening in modern times,
Yeah.
for sure. But, I mean, it's just a fucking acid trip, man. I mean, or a mushroom trip, I should say. Because they are tripping balls like 70% of the movie.
Yeah.
And the only shot that was cool is when they're underwater.
It's the effect. It's this effect that when the characters are eating
If
the
you want-
mushrooms, it's just the way he does
Right.
whatever this effect is, and it looks crazy.
If you want to see this movie and you haven't seen Mandy, watch that because it has a chainsaw fight.
Yeah.
Therefore, making it a better movie.
Right. There is no chainsaw fight in this. It's got some gory
I'm sure it does.
bits to it, but all in all, man, it's just
I will say I saw the interview with the director. He seems like the nicest dude in the world. Like a lot of, he's not Gaspar Noé who we've talked about.
yeah.
He seems super genuine.
And it's just shit he's into.
Right,
I think,
exactly. And I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So you might not.
I'll check it out. Is that a streamer or a rental? It's a new movie. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a new release. It just came out Tuesday, and I rented it.
The Midsummer, huh?
Midsummer. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I will start with I watched One Simple Favor.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And
I don't know. I would have really liked to see Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively get down with their husband, like at least once. That would have been cool.
well, they could have left the fucking husband out of it. That would have been cooler.
Okay, yeah, but the conversation she was talking about.
Yeah.
It was a very dark movie. It's funny. I really liked it
Until the end.
until the end.
They fucked up
The
the end.
end, I'm like, what? Why couldn't she have just been dead? Why couldn't it have been something else?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
No, it just looked like Paperback Gone Girl, and I just didn't watch it.
It's
It just, I mean,
it was good though. I want to say that it was good.
I thought it was interesting that, Paul Feig, the comedy director, I thought it was interesting that he'd do a movie like that.
Yeah. And it works a good portion of it.
Yeah.
But it just gets to a point where it's like you have to make a decision about where you're going with the movie and what he chooses to do or how the story goes.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, fuck.
I like
He really could have made something cool out of this because it has a lot of really cool elements. The beginning, how their
build it.
relationship and all, and then poof, she's gone, and you're like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What
the way
did
they
happen?
build it, and you don't really know.
Right.
Don't really know who's in on it and how it goes. But then when it comes out, you're like, well, now wait a minute. And then I did like how she got her on the button, and she was, the whole. I don't care. I'll just spoil it for everybody. The YouTube. She was streaming the whole situation. It was good. I liked it. I mean, anything with Blake Lively's.
It's a one-timer.
It is definitely a one-timer.
It's definitely a one-timer, and like I say, it's not terrible. It's got some uniqueness to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But overall, kind of fails at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felt the same way.
Hey, sometimes it's just hard to end a movie.
Yeah.
You can have a really cool setup. I've gotten to the second act of a lot of stories and just been like, fuck, I don't know. It's gone. I'm just like, I'll come back to that 7 years later. Oh shit, there's that thing. Yeah, so I understand. Like sometimes you just paint yourself into a corner.
Yeah, and that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's kind of what this.
And if you're Paul Feig,
Yeah, exactly.
you can make a movie, then they're going to let you.
During the editing, you're like, fuck.
You know, got Blake in it. You got Anna.
Anna being Anna and Blake being Blake too. Like perfect.
Blake in that is tough to beat, man. She is fucking blazing hot.
Brother fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, even that whole sit, I was like, oh.
That was the only redeemable quality of the ending, is it really showed that they're all just fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Everybody involved, like Anna Kendrick walks around like she's Miss Priss and like she's better than everybody, or she's like mousy. But at the end of the day, she's a brother fucker.
She's a brother fucker.
Yeah.
And that baby's probably her brother's.
Probably.
Brother fucker.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. And so second, yeah, you win. I got an hour into Freddy's Revenge. I got to the point where he stuck his tongue out while he's getting down on the floor, and Freddy's tongue comes out and starts licking her stomach, and I was like, and then the party happens, and I was like,
What is
I'm
this?
never going to make it through this.
Yeah. And I read interviews with Jack Shoulder, the director, who lives in Asheville. And,
Does he?
yeah. And,
I should go up there and punch him in his face.
he didn't even direct the pool scene.
Really?
He was so disinterested. He was just like, because he had like a contract with the New Line to do 3 movies, and you know, as soon as the first one made a ton of money, Wes Craven and Bob, the head of New Line, started suing each other immediately.
Yeah.
So there was no way Wes was doing part 2, and he was just like, I didn't even fucking do the part.
Wait, why were they suing?
Because like they didn't even have money to finish the first one. Like Sean Cunningham took some of his Friday the 13th money and shot second unit for Wes Craven just out of a favor. Like they ran out of money. Like, because they weren't really a studio before Nightmare. They distributed like cheap horror movies and old kung fu movies. Like this was one of their first things where they were making a movie.
Yeah.
And they just ran out of money like 3/4 of the way through. So Wes Craven had to, and I think he viewed it as, which his family, his kids just got back the rights like 2 weeks ago to the movie, to the whole thing. It's tied in with that Friday the 13th ruling. But it basically he thought he should get a bigger chunk of all that money, and I guess the guy around New Line was like, "Fuck you, dude," you know. But yeah, Jack Jones said he didn't even direct the party scene. His assistant did. Like he was like, I don't even give a shit. But you could tell, like it's a very sloppily made movie.
The movie is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I make it through.
Yeah.
So, what number was that?
That's 2.
That's 2.
Freddy's Revenge.
Yes.
Which, if you notice, in 3 they don't reference at all.
No.
Now it goes 1-3 story wise. Like 2 is never referenced again.
Yeah.
There must be a reason why. So maybe I'll watch 3, but
Yeah.
I didn't make
Dream
it.
Warriors I actually like.
But I just know that you already hate Freddy. I don't know why you want to torture yourself. I just, because it gets more Freddy.
Oh, it does.
You know,
after
him
3
being like this weird motherfucker.
he's like Henny Youngman. He's like what's his name? The comedian. I get one of those old 30s or 40s comedians.
Charlie Chaplin, Buster.
No, Charlie Chaplin. Like I'll say Henny Youngman or fucking one of those guys. Like a one-liner comedian.
Hey, I took my wife to the kitchen,
Yeah.
and or I take my wife everywhere, and she finds her way home.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's him.
Yeah.
Hey.
After 3, he gets much worse.
It gets so bad, it's just unfucking watchable.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a joke for you. You hear a joke? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The drunk driver that killed your son.
What?
That was one of the jokes in the Joker.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I went and watched Joker.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to speak about it, but I will. It was fucking fantastic. Joaquin Phoenix is ridiculously good. There was a scene in that movie where I was actually like this. Like, I just felt bad for him. Like, the way they do it, the way Todd Phillips does the movie, it's perfect.
Makes you sympathize with a
I don't.
villain.
Yeah,
Empathize more.
Empathize. I think empathy is more, not sympathize, because he just every little thing they did was perfect. Like, he goes to a comedy. And I hate that I'm going to ruin some of these. I won't spoil the movie for you, but I will say a couple of things. There's a scene where he goes to a comedy club and he's laughing at the setups instead of the punchlines.
Right.
Like, that's how completely, like, he's got this little book and he writes in it. And it's like, the book is like one of the best parts of the movie because they really show like what he's writing, and this stuff that he's writing is really funny.
Yeah.
But he can't, he gets up there and he tells jokes like that.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's funny.
Right.
Like, he's so completely detached. And then by
Right.
the end, he, we all know it's
Right.
kind of this all, but it's the way they shoot it. There's no effects. And it's very Taxi Driver. Only I will say the Taxi Driver's better because you like Travis Bickle better than you like Arthur Fleck.
Yep.
You just don't like Arthur Fleck, even though he goes through the character and the transformation and everything. I don't know. It's weird. It's like you it's the Joker, or he's awful, so you can't. Whereas Travis, you kind of pull, when Travis is sitting there in the whorehouse and he puts the gun to his head and he goes, pow, you're just like, yeah, dude.
Or like when he takes Sybil Shepherd to the porno movie theater. You get that he doesn't understand.
He just doesn't get it.
He doesn't understand that normal people don't do that.
Right.
Like, he's like, what's wrong? It's just a movie. It's like, yeah. Like, he doesn't there's something broken in his brain. Where it's like, I see what you. And there are people like talking about Joaquin Phoenix. There are people I've known. There was a guy I went to school with up in Nashville when I was going to film school. He was so fucking unlikable, right?
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
and then I would get to feel bad for him. And then when we'd be talking, he would say something that was so fucking irritating. I was just like, "Fuck, man! I was pulling for you, and now no." Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, so there are some people like that.
That's how
they get
that's
their own
how
way.
he is. That's how he is.
He's
it's I don't know the way they do it. It's Todd Phillips, man. I'll give it to him. I mean, to have done nothing but The Hangover, and then to go to this and the choices he made. All the shots. Like most, you think the Joker and superhero movie, you got the Dutch angles and the all this crazy stuff. He kept that thing still. He did, you know what I mean? Like, there's one scene where it just sits and Arthur comes home and he opens a refrigerator and he starts taking stuff out. You don't really know what he's doing, but he's taking stuff out of his refrigerator, just dragging it out, and then he just gets in it and closes the door, and it's just like, wow, that's great. You know what I mean? Like, he just left it sitting.
I saw this tweet from this woman who was like, this movie isn't about incels, dudes who can't get laid. It's about people who have mental health problems and how we just fucking ignore them. And we do. Everybody does. Yeah. You see a homeless guy like staggering down the street, kind of talking to himself. You just don't look at him. Everybody does it.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I do.
I've done that 1,000,000 times.
Yep.
No, bye.
Yeah.
So let me ask you about. I keep hearing this like social responsibility. Is it a socially responsible? Is it socially responsible? Should it even matter that you're making a movie about somebody that society is breaking them down, and yes, it is society's fault as to why he becomes what he becomes, and to in some way glorify it, which I think is what I've read a lot of people complaining about this movie is the glorification of a madman.
Yeah,
basically. Did you feel that way at all? Because to me, I'm like, I love a crazy motherfucker in movies, and the more realistic and the more crazy you make this character, the more I'm going to be all about it. I mean, like Fight Club is a completely socially irresponsible fucking movie about a madman.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a movie like Fight Club and a movie like Joker?
Right,
Is it just because that fuckface in Colorado went to go to
the Batman screening
and shoot up the place and claim to be the Joker? Is that why? Is that why the FBI's telling people not to go to the movies?
Yeah.
And police departments are like on standby at the theater waiting on something like this to happen? Why?
We can't.
Why is it happening there and not happening at fucking John Wick?
Right, but I'll give it to you. That's an excellent question. But to double back to the whole mental health thing, that guy who shot up the Aurora Theater, his mom and his psychiatrist both called the police.
Yeah.
They both were like, this
guy's fucked.
They needed, and they didn't check up on him until after he did it.
Yeah.
You know, and the police have since said he did not claim to be the Joker after that was more of a thing that got spread on the internet. And, but, yeah.
Didn't he have pink hair?
He did, but the Joker has green hair.
I've never seen the Joker with.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he was dressed up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. I don't care.
But,
it doesn't matter.
The thing is, but you can't, like, I think I've said this before, like, you know, we can't allow people to dictate what creative people do.
That's exactly how I feel.
You can't, I mean, people talk about social responsibility. I don't think, this is going to sound bad, I don't think filmmakers have, unless you want to be socially responsible, you have to allow people to be socially irresponsible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, take the original Death Wish.
Yeah.
Today, that's a very socially responsible movie. Because Bronson never even looks for the guys who kill his wife. People will talk about it being a revenge movie. He doesn't get to start doing revenge stuff till the sequels. The first movie, he's just going around shooting people. You know, like today, that movie would be, you couldn't even put it in, you know, there was a remake, but the remake was more a remake of what people think it is.
Right.
And, yeah, like it's just...
Well, in a movie like you mentioned, like Taxi Driver.
Yeah, Taxi Driver.
I mean, can that movie could it be made today?
Yeah.
You say no.
Absolutely not.
But Joker can, and I've heard that they are so fucking similar.
Yeah.
How can you make one and not the other?
Well, because Joker's a superhero movie.
Is it?
Well, it's based
Scorsese walked out of it.
Yeah.
You believe that? It's, yeah. If you did the Joker and you called it Doug Wall, and it was just a Garrett Lane film, and it went through everything that he did,
Yeah.
nobody would fucking put it out.
Right. It's like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Yeah.
If it wasn't based on a real guy,
It would not happen.
yeah, people just be like, oh, that's
I'm
fucking...
telling you.
Yeah.
And it's not even... because you guys didn't see it, I don't want to ruin it for you because you
Right.
have to see it because
Right.
it's the only movie that I've been to in the last 2 or 3 years where I laughed and I cried and I laughed at something that I probably shouldn't have.
Right.
I'm like, you know, so he does something terrible and I'm like,
I'm usually that guy.
his tick, his laughing thing is you're just sitting there like you feel terrible for him. It's a great movie.
It's like unnerving to watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's foreboding. Yeah. It's dread.
Yeah.
It's complete dread. The whole movie. It's dread.
You're just sitting like slumped in your seat, like, oh god, am I supposed to be watching this?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? The train wreck that's happening on the screen.
They do this thing where they the movie's done from his perspective, but sometimes he's unreliable.
Right.
So, like, he's the I hate to use this word, unreliable narrator.
Right.
Like, he's
trying to tell a story.
Fakes you. He fakes you. Like, there's scenes where you realize, oh, wait a minute, shit, that really didn't happen. That was just how he saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's great. And at the end, everybody gets what they deserve. Everybody, whatever happens, they get what they deserve because they made fun of him. You know what I mean? And they whatever. It's I think it's great, and I get it. I see everybody's so touching these days. The world is so touching, but that story has to be told.
Well, I know that Joaquin just wanted it to be Arthur Fleck.
Yeah.
and have absolutely nothing to do with Joker or with superheroes, and that there were some tie-ins with I don't know if some tie-ins with Batman to let you know that this is
he meets him. He meets there's a run-in with Bruce's dad.
Yeah.
And then there's a run-in with Bruce. And then there's a run-in with Alfred, where Alfred Joker comes and tries to see,
Thomas Wayne?
Thank you. Thomas Wayne comes to see Thomas, and Bruce is sitting there, and he gives him a balloon, and they start talking back and forth, and Alfred jumps in.
And he's like,
I know who you are. I see. You guys are supposed to see it.
Yeah.
You had 2 weeks. You had 2
I had
weeks.
shit to do.
So it being a superhero movie, that makes it okay.
But it's not a superhero movie.
It's a character study of like Lee said, of a mentally,
Right.
somebody who's fucked up.
Yeah.
And just how society and everything, if everything kind of happens in this perfect way, then it can create this perfect storm of whatever,
Right.
and turn somebody into
What we would view as a supervillain.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it uses comic book stuff. So I haven't not seen it. Comic book style stuff to sort of talk about crazy shit.
Yeah.
Will it be
More a supervillain movie than a superhero movie.
Will it just be a standalone movie, do you think? Or do you think that it'll have so much pull and so many people wanting to see more of this that
I don't think Joaquin would do it.
No, I don't think so. And also, I know in the Batman movie, it's going to take place in the 90s. And it's not, thank God it's not another origin story. He's already Batman. And, there are already multiple villains. So the new Batman is going to be more of a comic book movie than a superhero movie. By that I mean, the Penguin's already
They're already
there.
going to be in.
Yeah, he's already there. The Penguin already owns a nightclub. He's doing all this illegal shit. There's a bunch of...
Which is fine
It's
with
not,
me.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just one guy who gets killed at the end of the movie and then you have another guy in the next movie. Which I think is a more interesting idea than,
Oh, yeah.
then the Joker gets thrown out of the building at the movie and, bye. He's never seen it again. So I don't think they'll connect. Because, I don't think Joaquin would do it.
He wouldn't do a superhero movie, I don't think.
Yeah. Because he turned down Doctor Strange.
I think if Todd Phillips is attached to it, I think he might.
I think he would have to get a certain amount of control.
Yeah.
He would have to... what Ed Norton tried to do with the Hulk movie. He would have to get a certain amount of say-so. Which did not work. Because they were like, no, dude, we'll put this little Portuguese dude in there.
Hadn't seen him in 10 years since then
Exactly.
until, this movie that he's directed for himself now. It's like, where have you been?
Exactly.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I watched. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
I will try to get through the Freddy's. I don't know if that's going to work.
It's not. It's okay.
That's fine.
Just don't.
I wouldn't do it. And I like it way more than you do. I wouldn't watch them all. Not in a week or not in a month.
Not in a year, I don't think.
Which brings us to
1988's Dead Heat. It's a zombie cop movie. That's all you really need to know. Directed by Mark Goldblatt, who was the action movie editor in the 80s and 90s. He directed the first 2 Terminators, The Howling, a lot of Jerry Bruckheimer stuff. He was the guy for editing action movies. And written by Shane Black's brother. And
Shane Black is in this movie.
Shane Black is in this movie.
Yes, he is.
He is, and it's
Shane Black's in the movie?
Yeah, he's the cop he steals the motorcycle from at the end.
Yep.
He's
not in it, but one scene.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's in it. Yeah.
And listen, I like it. I'll be honest with you. I admit there are parts of it that are patently not good, and everything not good about it has to do with one Joseph Piscopo.
Fucking Piscopo.
There's a movie, if you could somehow go back in time and edit him out of the movie and put in fucking Danny Aiello. Let's just pick a random actor. This becomes a 1,000 times better movie. Because I'm sure this is not the movie that was written. I'm sure the script was given to him, and I know Joe Piscopo was... The movie he had to be in it for it to get made.
Yeah, this was...
Yeah. This was a couple years after he left SNL, and they thought... And he'd done this thing where he got fucking jacked. He got some sort of disease, and like getting in shape was one thing that would like improve his health. And I guess they thought he was going to be a big star because they were like, he's got to be in the movie, even though he's the second banana. And
but this is after Johnny Dangerous.
This is 2 years after Johnny Dangerous,
and he was great in that.
Johnny Dangerous is his best movie.
He was fucking perfect.
It's the gun that shoots through a school.
Yeah, it's best ever. That movie's fucking great.
What kind of gun is that? It shoots through schools. A joke you could 100% not do now. Anyway, my cousin hung me on a hook once. Once. Anyway, enough about Johnny Dangerously, but I like everything about it except Joe Piscopo.
Well, Piscopo and Treat Williams, who's the main character, Roger
Mortis.
Roger Mortis, yes.
They just don't.
Yeah.
They don't have like a rapport, it's even in the scenes where they're together and they're trying to play off each other. It just doesn't work.
When Joe Piscopo's not in the frame, it seems like a different movie.
Completely.
Like when Treat Williams and Darren McGavin are like riffing back and forth, and you can see how much they like each other.
Yeah.
It just seems like, oh shit, yeah. Then you're like Joe Piscopo like walks up to the call me, and he's just like, oh shit, this is this again.
Yeah. My thought watching it when I got to the end of it, if this movie would have been presented more in the vein of like Hot Shots or The Naked Gun, where it was like over the top comedy and kind of made fun of itself a little bit more, I think it really could have worked.
See, I completely disagree. I think if you X out all the comedy, because I don't think like movie like Reanimator, there's humor in Reanimator, but nobody's making a joke.
Yeah, no, it's
the
not
jokes are sort of behind
the curtain.
Behind the curtain.
Yeah.
But it is a horror comedy, but it's not a comedy with capital C. It's with a lowercase c. And I think that would have worked better. Basically, I just think Piscopo is a fucking albatross around this movie's neck. And he's fucking terrible. He was good in one movie and in about 3 sketches on Saturday Night Live. And those were just impressions.
And he carved out a career off of that.
But, I mean, like, it's got Vincent Price in it. It's got fucking Darren McGavin.
Which are the 2 only redeeming qualities
And
of the
Treat
whole
Williams, you can tell he's having a fucking great time.
Oh, yeah.
The third act is phenomenal. Once he becomes zombie cop, once he gets out of the body bag, it's fucking,
his hair's spiked. He's like a completely different character.
Yeah, he really is. Like the movie needs more of that. It needs to be more of a splatter movie, I think. And you could tell they were going for that because like the Chinese scene.
At the Chinese grocery the Chinatown shop was just the best.
That the director said that's the tone he was going for. That was what he thought the whole movie should be like. Just weird and fucking violent and fucking weird shit coming back to life. And he was like, they just kept, like, they were like, he didn't want to cast Joe Piscopo so bad. They're like, it's the only way you can make the movie.
It was just like one line after one line after quip. I was just like, oh, goddamn.
Yeah, it's like the Marvel movies. Everybody fucking quips in the Marvel movies. Yeah. I'll give Black Panther credit for that he doesn't make a fucking joke in the movie. Yeah. Because after a while, it's like, fuck, I can't stand any more quips.
I got to Yeah. By the time that Doug's in the tank upside down, I was just like, thank Christ, I don't want to fucking hear him talk anymore.
Exactly.
But before, or right after that, the part with the lady where she starts to fall apart.
Oh, where she melts?
Was just
fucking great.
I laughed. That shit was great. The Chinatown shop, which you brought up, was fantastic. All the dead food coming back to life.
Any movie where a guy gets attacked by a side of beef.
Yeah, it was great.
It's fucking okay in my book.
The pig.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the whole movie is the submachine gun fight.
Oh, yeah. Where
they just stand there for like 30 seconds just filling each other with lead until one of them falls down was fucking great. Yeah. That's what I thought it needed more of, like, that to me reminded me of like a Hot Shot scene. Right. And I was like, damn, man, maybe if it would have just made a little bit more
ridiculous.
Then
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? And the individual performances, I thought everybody was fine other than Piscopo.
Right.
But collectively, they just... Yeah. I guess it is Piscopo. It's all Piscopo.
He fucking kills the movie.
Yeah.
He is the Renee Zellweger of this movie.
The exploding body at the end was fucking great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Vincent Price just being Vincent Price.
Well, I mean,
he shows up.
he's just like, huh?
He's like, I'm just fucking Vincent Price.
Oh, I'm not the bad guy? Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen Vincent Price since Edward Scissorhands. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't watched anything with Vincent Price.
He literally
just
was like,
showed up.
they paid me $50,000,
And I showed up.
and I showed up for a day.
Yeah.
I showed up for a day and did this movie. Yeah. And, I mean, you can't... I mean, Darren McGavin... I mean, A Christmas Story...
Fucking love Darren McGavin.
He was great in it,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
He was the best. He was probably my favorite.
He's the best character in the
Best
movie.
character.
It's
yeah.
a leg!
Yeah. Yeah.
It's your award!
But,
There were like 2 lines from the movie that I thought were funny.
yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, what were the 2 lines?
The first one was Treat Williams. He's standing there and
Roger Mortis.
Rigor Mortis. Yeah, exactly.
and one of the chicks in it says something to him. And he's like, "Lady, I'm fucking dead."
See, that's wrong. Treat Williams is funnier than Joe Piscopo in this movie.
Piscopo had one good line, and it's on the way. It's at the end when they're walking out, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, this is the end of a beautiful friendship because they're both fucking zombies."
Yeah.
and they're talking about reincarnation.
Yeah.
and he's like, "I want to come back as a girl's bicycle seat."
No, see, my favorite line is at the beginning when the guy's looking at the porno mag, the security guard, he just grabs the mag and goes, "Sorry to interrupt your erection." That's the only line I think for Piscopo works.
Well, it's like you couldn't even digest one before he's quibbing on.
Exactly.
Like, it was
Yeah.
like a goddamn quib fest.
Yeah.
And I was, 20 minutes in, I was like, oh, goddamn.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up. If it's going to be like this, I don't know if I can make it to the
Yeah.
end. And it kind of get away from that a little bit.
Yeah.
What's the action? That barbarian zombie shows up at the office.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And the action
Oh,
starts
love the design of that. Like
All of the
3
special effects were fucking tits in this.
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
They're all genuine. They're all
Yeah.
What's the fucking word? I'm talking
Practical.
practical.
Yeah.
No magic markers on the screen or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like we witnessed the last time. So,
Right.
if you love movie making,
Yeah.
this is one that you've got to watch it.
Right.
For the effects.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's great.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
But I am saying that the effects are great, especially for the time period.
yeah.
And it's got some things in it that I think you need to see.
Yeah.
As a movie lover.
Right.
But it's a one-timer for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I saw it when I was about 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And just fucking loved it.
Oh, for sure.
Because it was everything I wanted in the movie. I didn't even recognize that Joe Piscopo was in the movie. I just thought he was a guy,
Yeah.
And but yeah, because all I ever thought about was the zombie stuff. Because I had my brain, my child brain, that was all that mattered. And but yeah, it's not by no means. I wouldn't even say it's a cult classic. But if you like 80s horror movie, you've never seen it. It's on Prime. You don't have to pay for it if you have a Prime subscription. You already have, so to speak. Yeah, give it on Saturday afternoon. You got nothing left to do. You cleaning the house.
Give it a day in court.
Give it a day in court.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do have to call you out, Lee.
Call me out.
This month is 80s horror films.
Right.
There was nothing horror about that movie.
Oh, it's got zombies.
It's got zombies in it.
Come on,
There,
man.
there's fish
Yeah.
and sides of beef that are coming
Yeah.
after you. There's like a duck head.
Yeah.
There's Vincent
that one
Price.
guy, Vincent Price was
That's
in it.
Price in it. Got Kolchak the Night Stalker.
The chick melted.
Oh yeah, dude, love when she melted. You could tell that was where the money went.
Oh, I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
that looks great.
Yeah.
But
Her face starts to droop.
Yeah, Joe Piscopo.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is.
Unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I'm good for him. I'm good for him. But fuck, he's terrible in this movie.
I think he was just on a lot of cocaine.
It probably was.
He's like perfect. He's in perfect shape.
He is in perfect steroid shape. And yes, he did do a bunch of fucking... What was this, 88?
88.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Everybody did cocaine in 88.
He was deep in it in 88. It was like shoot up and fucking snort and let's go shoot some scenes, baby. I mean, I think, and he wasn't the only one. It's just, some great actors came from that time that got through it.
Yeah.
He wasn't a great actor.
He was not one of them.
No.
But he is great in Johnny Dangerously.
Fucking tits in Johnny Dangerously, man. He is.
Yeah.
I did a podcast once.
That's what I wrote. I said it's a hot chicks, classic 80s.
Yeah.
But this is no Johnny Dangerous.
No. I would never compare this movie to Johnny Dangerously.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's one that somehow, I don't think I ever... You know, a lot of times I'll see an old movie and I'll see like one or two parts, and I'm like, damn, I did see that. But this one, somehow I don't think I ever saw.
I will say that the first two movies we've done were both released within a year of each other by New World Pictures, excuse me. And I will say that there were more movie studios back then. Like, this was a studio film. Like, you know, New World was you go get a movie financed there.
Yeah.
That is something I think we're missing today, is small movie studios. Because they're just like, you know...
it's all a money grab.
It's all a money grab. But, I mean...
What is that A24?
It's a production company. I guess you'd say it's basically...
I mean, because they put out, more times than not...
Yeah.
Some of my favorite movies I've seen in the last few years come from the
I will
studio.
admit, they are a very cool company. Like, they did a free screening of every movie where it was shot. Like, they went up the middle of nowhere in Vermont or whatever and screened The Witch on a billboard because it was the only place near there where you could watch it.
Yeah, that's cool.
They do cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's nothing like New World or Canon or no like little studios where you can get a movie made now. That just give you an alternative. And it's something like, you know, like... people have talked about lately, like, you know, a lot of famous people have been sort of bad-mouthing Marvel. Not necessarily that the movies are bad, just that they're everywhere, you know. There's no alternative.
Yeah.
You know, in the 80s, you say this movie's not a good movie. And there's parts of it that are very not good. But it was you could go see, you know, if you didn't want to go see the new John Candy movie, fucking Dead Heat was playing in movie theaters.
Yeah.
You know, all over America.
You just reminded me, I did watch... Spider-Man Homecoming. I totally forgot about it.
Yeah.
I did watch it, though.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. Save it for next week.
Yeah, was it?
That's
Have you seen a Marvel movie?
That's what I
Then you've
meant.
seen it. It's
That's
fun.
what I meant.
Yeah.
You forgot about it. That's how good it was. You completely
I
forgot.
thoroughly loved fucking... I like Tom Holland, fine. But I really, really loved Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal's character in this was fucking awesome, dude.
Oh, you're talking about the new one.
Yeah, the Homecoming.
No, it's far. That one's Far From Home.
Okay, what the fuck ever.
You don't even
Home.
know the name
It's
of
got
it.
home. If you got home in both fucking names, whatever. But the premise of the movie, the whole
we run a movie podcast, and you're giving us action films with zombies in it for 80s horror.
Well, I had another film.
he had another one.
But
I
the fucking-
fucking
Hellraiser has fucked it all up. Oh, and speaking of,
It's the best thing we've seen so far.
Oh, no, I would disagree with that.
That's
I put Dead Heat though.
That's where we are.
Oh, and
Christ's
Hellraiser beat out Maximum Overdrive.
It did. It did.
Well,
It's got a huge following. I knew that was going to happen.
so weird.
But fucking Maximum Overdrive is the shit.
It's the
So
tits, dude.
here's my question: we can get 70 votes on the Facebook page
Right.
for a freaking poll.
Yeah.
And we got 4 listeners. How's that working?
I don't know, man. I don't know. And one of those is my girlfriend. So I don't know what to tell you.
And Casey, we love
Yeah,
you, man.
her and Casey the only two people listening.
We're just sending them Valentine's.
I know, right?
Yes,
Sure.
dude. We sent Casey a bottle of vodka for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Hellraiser. No, that's a tough one. I think as much as I hated Dead Heat, I liked it better than I liked Hellraiser.
See, I just go by movies that, like, was it that entertained me? And there were parts of it that are hugely fucking entertaining. Really, like, there's only one thing I don't like.
I go by the art. And aesthetically,
This fucking guy.
Hagazusa is right up your alley, Garrett. Go watch it. I challenge you to put down.
Terrence Malick over here.
Yeah,
Jeez Louise.
hey, this is a movie about a
hey, the
witch.
Tree of Life is freaking awesome.
I'm sure you think it is.
You want to see some witchiness?
Yes.
Then lay down.
fucking tree of life. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude, there are only 2 good Terrence Malick movies. One is Badlands, the other one is The Thin Red Line.
And he's
The
only
rest
made
of
4.
them,
What's your point?
the rest of them should be fired into the fucking sun. Anybody who can sit through the New World more than once is a fucking psychopath.
There's one sitting right
Yeah.
here.
Oh, that shit is fucking terrible. Am I like?
Hey, look.
Oh yeah.
Look.
You fucking that's a good movie. We joke about it, but that's a super well made good movie. I enjoyed that movie. Fucking
Tree of Life. You don't like the Tree of
Oh
Life?
fuck! I mean,
I didn't like the Thin Red Line.
Oh,
Cause I like the Thin Red Line.
It's just like it's a
They're
one
like-
time, and it's like
It's
God.
like it's like an opera. It's like watching an opera of cinema when you watch one of his.
Okay.
Oh my God!
That's it.
Did you say that? Say that again. Say that again. Say that again.
When you watch a Terrence Malick movie, it's like watching an opera of cinema.
Fucking bullshit.
Oh
God.
Go around. God damn.
Did you like that? That was worth the wait. That was worth the wait.
What is happening?
Look,
Golly, I haven't smoked in 8 years.
go rent Midsummer and watch
years.
it because I think you'll like it because that's what you like. And go, and I'm telling you, go watch Hagazusa.
I can't even spell it. How am I going to find that movie?
Pronounce it out, you fucking mook.
I tell you, the Price is Right horn. It makes everything better.
That-
Watch this, Doug. You're HIV positive. Oh, it makes everything better.
Oh shit,
All right, you ready?
Oh shit.
that was the best thing.
What's
Oh,
that?
Lord.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Garrick, if you don't stop doing the podcast, I'm going to leave you and take everything.
No, that's not that. No, that's no. Wait, let's do it again.
more uplifting.
Yeah, hold on. I got that one. Yeah. 1 second.
Oh shit.
2 hours and 40 minutes.
Ah, fuck. I can't find it.
Hagazuga.
Hagazusa.
What's that on Prime?
Yeah, H-A-G.
Is it better than the Tree of Life?
Yes. But it's going to fuck you up. It's got some very disturbing scenes.
Okay. No, I can't find it. Fuck.
And a lot of stuff where nothing happens for long periods of
So
time.
you'll love it.
So,
It's like an
speaking
opera of
of-
cinema.
It looks great.
Speaking of opera of cinema, The Irishman, November 1st.
Yep.
Yeah.
It is 3 hours and 30 minutes long. They're going to play it in the movies for 2 weeks, and then they're going to put it on Netflix.
Only in small cinemas because the big ones told them to fuck off.
Yeah.
So
'Cause
I don't
you can't,
know where
you
it's
can't
going to
even
be.
do it. 3 hours and 30 minutes. How many?
Where's it going to? Is it
That's
going to be at the
4
Golden Ticket?
That's 4 screenings a day.
Where's it going to be? It ain't going to be at
Max.
fucking AMC.
You don't think AMC will play?
No, fuck no.
You'll have to go to Mooresville. You'll have to go to Charlotte, Mooresville.
Or I'll just sit at home and wait 2 weeks till it's on my fucking TV screen on Netflix.
It is got 100% rating, 62 ratings so far, and it's at 100%.
Oh, but
Yeah.
I know you guys don't listen to the Rotten Tomatoes, but man, if Rotten
I'm gonna see
Rotten
it.
Tomatoes score is 100%, chances are the movie's pretty freaking
Garrett,
good.
I trust the fucking Rotten Tomato meter about as much as I do a Jussie Smollett police report, which ain't very fucking much.
I will admit that some dude did point out where like somebody got like a 3-star, somebody got like a 3-star review, somebody else got it, and one of them was fresh and one was like they were sort of rigging it. Where someone could get similar reviews, but they'll be like, "Oh, that's rotten."
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And it's stuff that you tell that is just
Well,
like,
goddamn, Dead Heat had like a fucking 3 on there, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't much,
Yeah.
but to me, it was much better than that.
oh yeah, it's better than a 3.
You know? But it was low. I don't remember what it was,
Yeah.
but I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
This is low. But
What Tree of Life have? Just saying.
Oh, let's go. Let's
go.
I don't know. The Tree of Life.
oh, goddamn. You want a glass to fart in so it'll be easier for you to
Yeah,
sit
right.
there like a
Yeah,
snifter
yeah, exactly.
while you fucking watch Tree of Life? Ugh, jeez.
6.8%
On IMDb.
IMDb.
Yeah, 6 points. Ooh, that's high.
That's too high.
That movie's fantastic.
I'm sure it is.
Okay. All right. Well, just never mind then. That might be it for the show. Some more 80s horror next week. Some
Yeah.
more.
What are we doing next week? What's your pick?
Hey, we're picking the first horror movie I ever watched. And the first horror movie that scared the shit out of me. The first horror movie that prevented me from going in the woods by myself for probably a year.
Yeah, but you were like
It
17 then, right?
Yeah, I was 13, and it wasn't much. It isn't much, but it was the big horror movie of my life. It was the one that affected me the most, and it's Friday the 13th Part 2.
There we go. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no true life. But
I'm
what
so
is?
hyped to see it.
Yeah.
You look at.
It's an opera of cinema.
It's an opera of cinema.
Of horror cinema,
Yeah.
if you will.
This Powerade was an opera beverage. I don't know if you know that.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
All right.
Best ever. Go. Damn, that was great.
All right, that's it.
That's all. That's it. Wait a minute.
This was an opera of a podcast. I know that.
That's it.
No,
Nothing
that's it.
else.
You got something?
Nicholas Winding Refn has somehow conned the people at HBO. I don't know. Like I said, it could have been cocaine. We don't know. He's been trying to get a Maniac Cop remake off the ground since 2016.
For a while.
16, maybe 4 to 5 years. And John Hyams, the director of, he's a low-budget action movie director. He picked him to be the director. If you see, there's a movie he did called, it's a Universal Soldiers sequel, but it's not really. It's basically used as an excuse. It's super weird. You know, it's basically like the Universal Soldiers are a cult. Like Van Damme's the bad guy. You know, and it's just, you can tell why he liked it. Like everything's lit red. And, you know, there's, you know, it's a really super weird, violent movie. And he said he and Hyams are going to direct it together, which I was...
Because I think he's already written it.
Yeah. Ed Brubaker, the comic book writer, who he wrote your show.
6 years of...
Yeah.
Ooh,
that wasn't even kind of right.
Too old to die young.
Too old to die young. The comic book writer who he wrote that show with, he's writing the... So it's already been written.
Maniac Cop, yeah.
6 years to die. What was I thinking? I'm sorry. It's been a long...
And
6 years in Tibet.
yeah. And
Tree of Life?
Tree of Life.
Cinema of opera. Opera of cinema.
But I am very excited to see how it comes out.
It's going to be an opera of cinema.
Because I love
If
the
you
first
say that one more fucking time, I'm going to hit you.
I love the first Maniac Cop, but the second one is one of my favorite horror movies.
It's
of
better.
the 90s. I love the
So
part
they
2.
just announced this, though, right?
Yes.
So it's going to be a while.
He's had this company for like 2 years called Nicholas Winding Refn Originals. But the weird thing is, the only movies he's proposed are all remakes. But he's weird. Whatever. I'll let that slide.
Yeah.
But this is his first. Like, he's wanting to have like a genre wing. Like, he's wanting to do he's proposed a bunch of movies he wanted to remake. It produced for other directors. And this is the first one that's gotten off the ground. So basically, this is his first, he's like, this is not Too Old to Die Young. He's like, this is going to be horror from the beginning to end. He's like, but it basically takes the premise of Maniac Cop and shows you other characters in that world.
Yeah.
And then he said, but the Maniac Cop will be killing people throughout. Like, he will, the idea of a cop as a slasher.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
I think it'll be good.
I kind of hope he produces it and lets Hyams direct it so it can just be super visceral.
But he won't.
But I don't think he will.
I don't know. That's two personalities that are just too big.
Yeah.
They should probably just do it together.
They said they're going to do it together.
Come to a common ground and do it together.
Right. But I'm excited for it.
If they can do it,
Yeah.
if they can pull it off without getting each other's way, I think it could be really good.
If
Right.
HBO doesn't, HBO's notorious for pulling stuff last minute and going, ooh, this
Pulling
is
stuff after a couple episodes.
Yeah.
What was that horse racing show with Dustin Hoffman? Was it Luck? Like 7 horses died in the first 2 episodes. And they were like,
"Oh, nope, we're done.
Exactly.
Bye."
Yeah. Yeah, that 1 or 2, you're like, okay, I guess things happen. But after 7, they're like, ugh, maybe we should stop this.
Yeah.
But so they'll
What was
pull
that really good HBO Vinyl.
Vinyl, yeah.
Vinyl. What a great show.
And they just
yep.
Yeah. Also, I think the music rights were probably just super expensive.
Yeah.
They probably just saw how many people watch it, and they were just like, oh.
It's not worth.
Yeah, that one scene in Vinyl, this is completely random because we're not talking about Vinyl. But when the guy dies in the car wreck and you see Buddy Holly come down, he's playing the song. That was fucking epic. But anyway, going back to Maniac Cop, I hope it goes for a season. I don't think you could go more than that because then they're just pushing it. But yeah, I hope it's super weird and violent. And,
I full on expect it. If it's not super weird and violent, I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. But, I don't know. I'm excited for it.
Yeah. Have you watched any of Too Old to Die Young.
I watched the first episode, but hadn't got back to it.
Get through the second episode is probably my favorite one of the whole show, and it's all in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's all subtitled, but it kind of sets it up to where you're like, oh, this is what it can be.
Yeah.
And then 3 is like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And then by 4, it's
Like,
off
where
to the
are
races.
we?
Right.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. I also hope they keep the episode number down. Because I think a lot of cable shows are good at about 8.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be 12 or 13.
No, it doesn't need to be 13 episodes. Yeah, like if you get about 8, I think
I'm
you're
fine
good.
with 10, but that's the absolute max.
Like there's a lot of those Marvel Netflix shows that if they were 8 episodes, they'd be fucking all killer, no filler. But then you got those fucking filler episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah. But what else do you want to talk about?
I saw, or Garrett sent me a link to Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Live action coming back, maybe, to Netflix.
That's what it said.
Yep.
I know that you talked about this.
How's that going to work?
I don't know, same way the fucking movie worked.
Yeah.
They'll just make it up. I mean,
Right.
it's not like there's some story they have to follow or anything. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, just pick what they want from the story. And just
It
leave
could
the
all
rest.
be on just this weird planet where the...
That's what I hope it is.
That's
I
what
hope they
hope
don't
it is.
bring it to Earth.
I don't want it to be at Earth.
I just want weird fucking barbarians riding armored
Yes.
tigers,
If they can keep it to that, it would be killer. But
Yeah, I know, right?
I just don't know if they will.
Yeah. Because think about it, like everybody has guns and vehicles, like they're like mobile vehicles, but they're like they have laser guns.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, fuck it, let's just use swords and big tigers.
Yeah.
It's so insane. Yeah.
The only other thing, one of my favorite shows of all time, South Park. It's been that they actually showed in downtown Hong Kong.
Yeah.
The first and second episodes of the show were basically it's a lot of fuck you, China.
Yeah.
You should see the second episode. It has not only to do with the Hong Kong thing, but about things that they don't like that we produce in Hollywood, like something stupid like Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
Looks kind of like somebody said that it looks like their president.
Yeah.
So he's fucking banned over there.
Right.
That image is banned.
Most horror movies.
Yeah.
Nothing with ghosts or magic or nothing like
And
that.
basically, it's about
Yeah.
these guys trying to get into bed with the Chinese, and then the Chinese coming behind them and saying, "No, you can't do that."
Yeah.
And there's one part where one of the boys is sitting there and he's trying to write this thing down, and this guy's walking behind him, and he's like, "No," and coming behind him and changing it, and he's like, and he sits there at the end, and he's like, "I know how writers in Hollywood feel."
Yeah.
Because you're trying to appease a fucking government
Yeah.
that you were completely the opposite against. I don't understand. We used to support democracies
Right.
around the world. That's what we fucking have stood for the
Right.
last 70 fucking
Well, here's
years
what it
of our
is.
existence in this country, and now to try and kowtow to a superpower because of fucking money.
Well, here's what
is
it is.
pathetic. The NBA, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like draw the fucking line in the sand.
Well,
please.
people used to buy DVDs.
Yeah.
Right. And when that dried up, they had to supplant that with another
Medium.
income.
Yeah.
And they went to the Chinese market. And basically, they're such a big part of international releases now that you can't. I saw a meme yesterday. It was of the Hong Kong protesters all holding American flags. It said, "Be the America kids in Hong Kong think you are." And I was like, fuck, that kind of got me in my heart. I was like, like them getting fucking the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah.
For wanting stuff that I take for granted every day. Not to get too political, but yeah.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up, yeah. And they're doing the live action Mulan because apparently the actress who's playing Mulan came out and was like, well, I support the Hong Kong police, and people were just like, bitch, do you that's good. That's not going to get any better.
It's so she can walk around in China without
Yep.
being fucking.
And don't get me wrong, I get it. Like I said, the thing I talked about a few months ago, the Chinese, the score, the social network score, how that can change. When you go to leave the country, they scan your passport, and that connects to your social network score, and it connects to whether or not you can leave or enter that country. How of a good citizen you are. That is fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And to be in bed with a country like that, as deep as a lot of people in this country are, and a lot of companies are, and have gotten so dependent.
Oh, yeah.
That they're willing to basically just be like, no, I didn't mean to say that. Like,
Right.
To support a democratic upstart is what we have always done.
Oh, yeah.
That's why the Vietnam War happened. That's why the Korean War happened.
Right.
You know, that's what we've stood for, and to now cower because of fucking money, it makes me fucking sick.
When Doctor Strange came out, there was a big uproar about Tilda Swinton being cast as the Ancient One.
Right.
And people thought, they weren't making her a white lady. They were making her not a Tibetan person.
Yeah.
Because they were never going to have a $200 million movie with a Tibetan character in it, where China has basically had its foot on the back of Tibet for 50 years.
Yep.
That was they could have been from the fucking moon before he was going to be from Tibet. You know. People are like, it was whitewashing. No, it was anti-Tibetan washing.
Yeah.
Is what it was.
That second episode of South Park, go fucking watch it.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's fucking great.
Yeah.
Those guys. Those guys are...
I love them.
I don't know how they do it.
Even if, there's some episodes I don't like, but it doesn't matter.
Oh, the third episode, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
But I'm like, doesn't matter. I'm going to watch it every fucking Wednesday as long as they're new episodes.
Yeah.
I've watched them for, almost 25 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they bring a smile to my face.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
the documentary 6 Days to Air, which is one of the best showbiz.
Just the way they make it.
When them and Bill Hader are talking about the human centipede.
Yeah.
If you click on the Apple agree thing, you have to be a part of a human centipede. Just them laughing about it is funny.
It's the funniest shit.
Yeah, because should I eat cuttlefish or vanilla paste?
I just would love to watch that of
them making that
second episode.
Yeah.
Because it's that good. Dude.
Yeah.
I love it. Love the show.
Yeah.
That's a good show, man. Those guys. With the exception of basketball.
Dude, basketball has some jokes that are so fucking funny. With the fucking Robert Stack joke. What was his show? Unsolved Mysteries. When he's like, and then this nosy bitch down the street saw him do this, and just like, the parts of it are terrible.
Yeah.
But damn, there's some parts of it.
It's the only really flop.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, but it was still good.
Watching the South Park movie with you the first time, it's something I'll never
I've
forget.
never laughed harder in my life than
This
Team America World Police.
I thought we were going to die the very first time. That opening scene.
They start singing Uncle Fucker.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about just red face, just can't breathe for like 40 minutes.
During the sex scene at Team America World Police, when she fucking Cleveland Steamers him, dude,
it's just the best.
I couldn't stop laughing. And I love when they said they shot more of it just so the MPAA would give them what they wanted. Like the version they shot was like stuff we'll never use.
Yeah, we just did it.
Just make them sit through it. And they're like, oh, well, this is what we want to do. And like, oh, that's okay.
I fucking love that.
I love those two guys. Yeah, doing the Lord's work
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for this show. We've gone a little long, man. About an hour and a half. How about that?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We brought politics into it. That must be it. It's okay. So next week, Friday the 13th, part 2.
Yep.
And then what are we going to do after that, guys?
I don't know.
Figure out something.
Figure out something.
Maybe we could do Opera of Cinema.
Tales from the Video Store, a Mad Tea Party production. Subscribe to our podcast at Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spreaker, and all the other podcast platforms. Facebook.com/Tales from the Video Store.